What's up, y'all? Welcome to the second episode of our new series where we will be interviewing various people that work in sports. Today, we will be interviewing Taylor Hearn. Taylor Hearn is a pitcher for the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers acquired him in the Keanu Kela deal to the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2018. Taylor Hearn appeared in 14 games for the Texas Rangers this past season, pitching 17 and 1 innings and only allowing 13 hits with 23 strikeouts. Hey Taylor, thanks. Great to have you on here.
Oh man, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. So you decided not to go to a team the first three times you were drafted. What really went into that decision?
It was a lot of stuff that went into that. It was more so just me being mature enough, and I wanted just to make sure that I was going to be ready for pro ball. And plus, I wasn't healthy either because I had 2 years where I got hurt, and then I had a third year where I was still rehabbing or somewhat still recovering from surgery. I didn't get any off time, so I needed to go somewhere where you know I just needed to get comfortable and just be able to show the scouts what I could do.
Wow. So is that you were talking about rehabbing? Is that what caused you to transfer colleges to Oklahoma?
No, so technically, there was some stuff that went on where um, NJCA had like denied my medical red shirt, so it declared me a sophomore, and so that kind of threw my classes and stuff off. But I just needed to go somewhere where they were going to give me a shot, and somebody was just gonna, just a different set of eyes because I was the Texas scouts were so used to seeing me, so I just need a different set of eyes on me, but just need to go somewhere where I can show them that I can pitch.
So going to when you're traded from the Pirates to the Rangers, what did it mean since you went to Royce City High School? You were going to play for your hometown team.
Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. Just getting that phone call and just on the phone with them at 2 o'clock in the morning and just thinking I'm going back home. It was really awesome. It's something that as kids, you always want to get drafted by your hometown team, but to be traded for them, it was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah. So how difficult was it to change uh, later in your career? I guess from a starter to a reliever.
It wasn't too bad, honestly. I mean, for it to be the first time I'm in the bullpen, was in the major leagues, was a really good experience. Though it was really fun. Got to know myself a little bit better because I was so used to being a starter, and just more so now, just had found a routine somewhat, but still, still, if I go back to that role, it's definitely one of the things where I kind of got a feel for it now.
You mentioned a routine. How important is that as a pitcher?
I think it's huge as a pitcher. You have to have a routine. I feel like guys when they get into pro ball, that's the time you need to learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you, because this isn't high school and college no more, where you know um, these games actually mean something. Now your career actually is on the line. So routine's huge for me because I'm not really a big picky guy on routines, but I do stuff that helps get me ready, whether it's arm wise, mentally, physically as well. So it's huge because it's kind of sad to see guys that don't have routines and then may always be end up getting hurt, but sometimes it's just bad luck as well.
So you talked about how like the big leagues they really matter, and sometimes we hear as fans about like a mentor in the clubhouse. Was there a guy when you got to the majors or maybe in the minors that taught you a lot?
There really wasn't, honestly. There really wasn't anybody because we were more so it's just a young team. I mean, I had really good communication with Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, of course. But I mean, I mean, not trying to make this in a cocky way any way possible, but more so, I kind of knew what I needed to do and just was just trying to do what I can because I knew what my abilities were and what I could do. So it's more so just going out there, just trusting my stuff and just going out there and trusting my ability. Because I feel like a lot of times when people get to the major league, they have a tendency to try to want to do too much, and so that's not the case. Where you should be doing that. You should be pressing hard. Now that you're in the major leagues and thinking every AB counts. Yes, every AB counts or every inning counts, but like at the end of the day, you're up there, so you got to enjoy it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, was there a coach or somebody who helped you ease through moving from the minors to the majors?
Yeah, my trainer who I train with now, I've been with since I was 8 years old. Omar Washington. He trains a bunch of guys, and I've been with him since I was 8. So he's somebody who I lean on a lot. We watch a bunch of video, we talk a bunch, um, and yeah, he's somebody who I still train with to the day, and somebody who I give 100% credit to.
Um, can you talk about the shutdown and because it was spring training and how that affected your routine?
It was funny. It really didn't affect it that much because I honestly just we kept throwing bullpens, we kept throwing against live batters. It's kind of, you know, I tell people I think I probably had the funnest off season ever because who can say you get a chance to throw to Elvis Andrews all the time, Willie Calhoun, then Ronald Guzman, then you got Joey Gallo in there as well. So and then Joey hit a home run off of me in the stadium, so that was pretty cool as well. But it was fun though. That lets you know that every AB was competitive.
To talk about the new stadium, were you ever able to pitch in the old one? Or did you ever go there as a fan? So what was it like with the new stadium?
So I had always been there as a fan growing up. I never got a chance to pitch in it because I got hurt that year. But man, I did work out over there all the time. I went over there for a bunch of pre-draft workouts. I went there three years in a row for pre-draft workouts. You know, and then trying to as well. Um, just got acclimated to it. Tried to, before I got my second injury. But man, the new stadium's awesome. It's just everything. I'm excited to see what fans are going to say about it. I know people were excited about it to see in the World Series, but I think it'd be a little bit better to have our fans in it and we're playing in it. So like it'll be a lot different. But man, the AC is nice. The roof open is beautiful at night. But the roof closed I'm not gonna complain about it either. I mean, it's great. I feel like the fans are like right on top of us.
Yeah. So, how different is it playing without fans in front of a major league game?
It was pretty weird. It was really weird. It was something that was just I mean, you could hear both sides of the dugout talking when you're on the mound. That's not normal in a baseball game. But man, it felt weird because we go to LA, you go to Colorado, you go to San Diego, and you're excited to be thinking you're going to be playing in front of packed house. There's nobody there, and it's kind of like a backfield minor league game almost. So, but it was still fun though. I'm excited though because now we'll have the chance to have fans and you'll be able to get a little adrenaline rush, and I feel like it'll be able to show who the difference basically.
You mentioned pitching against Joey Gallo, Elvis Andrews, and Willie Calhoun. How difficult? Because you mentioned how Joey Gallo hit a home run. Were you scared, or were you just gonna go? I'm gonna hit Joey with my best stuff.
No, not even scared. I mean, I feel like me as a pitcher, I've always been somebody that's been fearless, whether I'm pitching or doing anything. But it's always competitive. That's like when you get a chance to face, when I got a chance to face Mike Trout, or just when you get the chance to face guys that you've seen on TV. You really, I don't know if you really get amped up, but like just my thinking process and how I see people and everything, it's like they're just another player to me. But yeah, it was fun though because I got really competitive because I know for a fact um, facing him helped me out when I faced like Eric Hosmer, and then other big time lefties as well because Joey's a big power guy, and you face guys like Willie Calhoun, then you face guys like Elvis, you know, who are like gap to gap guys and stuff like that, and Odor and Chu as well. I got a chance to face them, so it's good to face veteran guys or just guys that are similar to him help me out when we face other teams.
When you first moved into the MLB, was there a game that really got your confidence that, hey, I can actually do this? I can hang with these guys?
Um, I don't really know. I don't really know. I mean, I think. Oh no, honestly, it was when they called me in when I got called back up, and we were facing who were we facing? I think we were facing Seattle. So that that I thought that was pretty cool to be for everything to come full circle because how I made my debut against Seattle and then get a chance to face against them again. And be able to get out of a bases loaded jam with a double play. So that was huge. It felt like a debut all over again. So I did that, and then still had some jitters, but then I mean, it's really hard to pinpoint one game where I was like, I felt like I belonged, but it was just more so just the anticipation and waiting of getting back up there. But yeah, I think probably the game was whenever I faced Colorado because I had faced Daniel Murphy before when I was with the Nationals or when I was with the Pirates and faced him when he was on rehab assignment. I got a chance to face Matt Kemp and then Nolan Arenado and the Charlie Blackmon as well. So I got a chance to face those guys. So like I felt like okay, like I can do it as a reliever. I can definitely do it up here in the big leagues for sure.
So you talked about pitching with the Pirates. What was it like? What was the big? Was there a big difference between in your second trade from the Pirates to the Rangers, from the first trade from the Nationals to the Pirates?
Not really. There wasn't really nothing major. I mean, the Rangers at the time, the Pirates were a little bit strict. They had limited us on a bunch of stuff that we could do. Whereas Rangers were very open. They're very open minded. They were people that were player friendly, I guess you could say. So it was definitely a different change of scenery because when I was with the Pirates, we had a policy about pants up till you got to the big leagues, and then it was clean shaven all throughout the minor leagues. He got to the major leagues, and over here they're like, man, you can grow your beard out, you can do whatever you want. So I was like, it kind of felt good to feel like a baseball player.
So your grandfather and I think your great grandfather were rodeo cowboys,
Yeah, my
and
grandfather.
you.
Yeah, grandfather was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um, what was that like growing up and your grandfather was doing that?
It's funny. It wasn't even just him. It was my dad as well. It was my dad and my uncles, and it was me as well. But it was fun though. I give them a lot of credit because a lot of stuff that I did in rodeo helped me out a lot. Carved me into the baseball player who I am today, mentally and physically, and just that mindset. Because I feel like when I was around my dad and my uncles, we were out there practicing all the time. The mindset that I got was just was really good because it was just it was a drive mindset to where we were out there practicing all day and all night, and it was more so like, hey, we're not trying to make it perfect. We're just more so trying to just refine and just make things smooth. So that's when I got to the point to win in baseball when I was pitching. People used to tell me all the time and still do. They're like, man, you look like you're throwing it effortless. I'm like, I'm not even really trying to, like, I am throwing, but it's more so just trying to be smooth. So that was something that we worked on when I was doing rodeos and everything. We were practicing out there roping. So that was one thing we worked on.
That's a really interesting idea about the mental side of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's but man, I put a lot of emphasis on the mental side because I went to school a little bit for sports psychology and plan to still finish my degree in that. But I really wanted to just try to elevate my game mentally and buy into it, but then also using all the stuff and all the resources I had from the rodeo background to now baseball and then learn how to combine them and realizing how big it is.
How does analytics, does that, like, the big leagues, they have a lot of stuff. Um, how does that help you?
It helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. Honestly, it's a lot of information. I'm not gonna lie, but I think when you're really open and responsive and tell them, hey, I don't really know what this means, or what does that mean, or really only want to look at like these numbers or whatever it is, and they're very responsive with that because it's a lot of stuff that's being thrown at you, but it's very helpful though. It's very helpful though because it kind of eases the pressure, eases the pain off you a little bit, but then again, you also can't also forget about the basics of baseball. The baseball one-on-one, just reading hitters and reading where they're at in the batter's box and how they're hitting the ball off you and just all that type of stuff as well.
Yeah. So how's it different preparing as a starter than a reliever?
It's a lot. It's a lot different, because with me having short-term memory as a starter, I took it to when I was in the bullpen as well to having just short-term memory because as a starter, I get a chance to sit for 4 days on and throw that fifth day. Whereas as a reliever, I could throw today and then be up tomorrow, or throw 2 days from now. So It was it's a lot different. You definitely have to have a different mentality to be in the bullpen than you do as a starter because being in the bullpen, they're going to be throwing you in situations to where you're going to be facing guys and certain they're going to let you know, like, hey, you got this guy coming up, and it's like you got 6 pitches to get warm up. So it's kind of like you know it is what it is. You got to be ready.
That's really interesting. Short-term memory. I think. Can you just go a little bit more in depth about what that means to some of us?
What would you guys want more in depth on?
Short-term memory,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. So it's just more so um, forgetting and for just forgetting about the small stuff and just major stuff as well. But it's huge, man, because when you that kind of helps you like not think as much because last I checked, people have a tendency to think too much when they're doing things. Um, so um, I think the simplest way to do it is, I guess, to explain it is just more so just forgetting about it. Like my key points about short term memory is having cue point or having checkpoints that work for you. So whenever I'm doing things, whether that's in life or out there on the field, like I look at the right field foul pole as like a reset button. So it's like a reset button. And people don't know this, but after I have a good or bad game, I always watch the Marshawn Lynch video of I'm gonna get mines more than I get got. Just to help like a reset button. So that's also short term memory stuff that helps, like small things like that.
wow, thanks. Well, Taylor, it's been great getting to know and hearing about some extra stuff. We wish you luck this upcoming season. Do you have any final thoughts you want to ask us? Or
Oh man, I appreciate you guys having me on though, but I would 100% tell you guys to continue sticking with it. Try to interview. I know it's going to be it's a frustrating process because you guys are just not getting started. But I promise you, if y'all can stick with it, you know you'll always be able to have me on. Whenever. So just don't just know that because I know what it's like. It's kind of like you guys are going through the minor leagues right now. You kind of got small podcast that's going through some things and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, just got to be patient. So I tell you guys one thing, just be patient with
Thank you.
ah, thank you.
it. Of course.
Um, so you can we follow you on Instagram and Twitter, but for the people listening, what's your Instagram and Twitter?
Instagram is thearn21 and Twitter is thearn14. Make sure you tell your people that I'm doing that PS5 giveaway and I got some really cool stuff that I'm gonna add to it that I think y'all are gonna like next week.
Awesome. And we got to be Jose Trevino
Got to,
because
have
he's his
to,
first pitch.
100%, have to,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
of course.